Hey y'all, it's Heather, the Misfit Mama, and today I am here to talk to you all about how to become a lunch packing pro by finding your unique style. So here at the Misfit Mama, I really am all about being authentic in motherhood and homemaking. One way that I hope to help you do that is by helping you to find your style, whether that's with cleaning or parenting, creating, cooking, all of those things that relate to being a parent, being a mother, and running a household. I want to help you do things in a way that feels right for you. So today I want to start with packing school lunches, because it is a never-ending battle. So my son started kindergarten this year, so now I'm packing 2 lunches, and I've really been thinking about and tweaking my school lunch system. Before, with my daughter, it was one lunch I knew what she would eat at school, and so I just sort of threw stuff together in the morning, and it was fine. Now with the 2 of them, it's become a little bit more of a challenge, and I do find that I need more of an actual plan. So what I want to share with you today are the 4 things that I think are the most important to think about when you're trying to figure out the best way to pack a lunch for your kid. The first one, who done it? Is going to be you or the kids. And I think this is the first thing that you want to think about, because this is going to affect all of the other things. I pack my own kids' lunches mostly because I'm pretty sure they would just put a jar of Nutella in their lunchbox if I let them do it. Also because mornings and evenings are busy and hard, and there's like a lot of things happening. So I don't want to throw one more thing on their plate for them to remember. It's hard enough to remember for them to wake up, get dressed, brush their teeth, and eat breakfast. But I don't want to add one more thing to yell at them about. You may want them to pack their own lunches. I know a lot of people who prepare things ahead of time and then just have their kids choose from the things that they've already prepared. That's one way to go about it. This also is going to depend on your kid's age. So your toddler's probably not going to pack their own lunch. Your 15-year-old probably can. So think about the age of your kids on whether or not you're willing or able to sort of do a little bit of prep ahead of time for them to help them if you do want them to make their own lunch. I do think it is a great responsibility to give to your kids for them to pack their own lunch, and they're probably a lot more likely to eat what's in the lunchbox if they've packed it themselves. So just a couple things to think about there. Number 2 is timing. When are you going to do it? Okay? Are you going to make it ahead, or are you going to make it the morning of? Like I said before, for most of the time that I've been packing a lunch for my kids, I just make it in the morning. That's the way that I roll. I mean, I got stuff and things to do at night. I'm trying to pack like my entire life into the 2 hours after my kids go to bed before I fall asleep. There's not a huge window there, and Netflix is not going to watch itself. So I'm not great at packing a lunch the night before, and I really don't want to. So I don't. I still do it in the morning. I have figured out a couple things that make it a little bit easier to do it in the morning. Sunday, at some point, I will prepare everything, basically. Make snacks. I make the snacks that go in the lunch. If we're doing sandwiches that week, I will go ahead and freeze them for the kids. That way in the morning, I'm literally just throwing things in the lunch bag. I already know that they're ready to go. I don't have to think about it too hard. But typically that's what happens. If you make it ahead, you can just decide you're going to put it together the night before, which is great if you pack leftovers for your kids. As you're packing up dinner the night before, pack the lunch right then and there. You just think about the timing of when you're going to do it. What also comes into play here is the food that you're going to pack. If you're packing fresh fruits and vegetables, or things that might brown or go a little bit bad after, quickly, you're going to want to think about that too. Things like cut apples. If your kids don't like brown apples and you are cutting them 2 or 3 days in advance, you got to think about how you're going to keep them from browning, or what other foods you could substitute in for that aren't going to have that effect. Number 3 is your setup. So I love all those like bento box pictures on Pinterest. I love it. And in my fantasy world, I am the kind of person that makes a lunch like that. But in real life, I do not, okay? I do not. My main goal in getting my kids' lunch packed is that they eat it. I just want them to eat at school. So you can choose, you know, whether you're doing bento style, whether you're putting it in a brown bag, you know, you got your sandwich, you have to have disposable containers and things like that to put stuff in, bags and things that your kid can throw away if it's going to be in a brown bag. Otherwise, you need like a full lunchbox and reusable containers that your kid's going to take to school and bring back home. So think about that setup, where you're going to store them in your kitchen. I like to have mine all in one place. That way, I don't have to think about it. Just think about what's going to be easiest for your life and what your goal is with your kids' lunch. Do you want them to have, you know, a BPA-free organic bento box? Or, you know, do you just want to make sure they get some food? Neither of those things is wrong, but you just got to figure out what's important to you. And lastly, number 4 is hot or not. Do you want it to be hot food or not? My kids love having a hot lunch, you guys, and I feel a little bit bad that I don't provide a hot lunch for them that often because it's a hassle. And not gonna lie, I just found out yesterday that in order to keep the thermos warm, you need to put hot water in it before you put the hot food in it. I mean, I feel like that should have been in the directions, but it's not. Okay, so I was just putting the hot food in there, and my kids are really picky about lukewarm food. They will not. So it's getting super annoying when I send leftovers, and then the leftovers just come back. So we've decided for us what works is having just mostly cold food. My daughter's school does offer, they bring in food. They don't have a cafeteria, so they bring in food from a couple different restaurants a few times a week. So we do allow her to get, the only one she likes, thank God, is burgers. So once a week she gets a burger. Otherwise, she doesn't get a hot lunch. It's a cold lunch. I don't have to worry as much about what temperature things are at inside the lunchbox. Are they going to stay that way? Is it going to warm up the other food that needs to stay cold? There's so many things. It's too many things. More things than I care to think about. But I know a lot of kids do love a hot lunch, and I love the idea of sending a hot lunch. I think if my daughter had access to a microwave, I would probably send food back to be warmed up more often, but that's just not, she just doesn't have access to it. So for now, at least, we're settling for cold food and hot food once a week. Same thing with my son. He was in kindergarten, so he gets a cold lunch most days, and we're about to start with him, letting him buy lunch once a week. That's all I have for you today. Like I said, I hope that this video is a way to help you find your lunch packing style so that you can take these 4 things and figure out what's most important to you, implement them, and then tweak it. What I think is great about using this kind of a system is that you can look at what's not working and then just adjust that one piece. You don't have to scrap the entire plan. So if you try something and it's just not working for your family, and let's say you decide, you know, you're gonna make the food the morning of, and it's gonna be a bento of hot food, okay? And that doesn't ultimately end up working for you. Then you can think, like, which part of this is not working? Maybe you really love the bento part, and you really love that you make the lunch, but making it in the morning and trying to make it hot is not working. So you can just adjust those 2 portions of your plan and see if that helps at all. And just keep on tweaking it. Times change, seasons change, what you need to do in your life, things are gonna change. And I hope this helps you find your lunch packing style. Let me know if there's something that I left out that you think is important to consider when you're making a plan for packing your kids' school lunches. Otherwise, I'll see you on the flip side. Thanks for making it this far. Please like this video if you like this video, and subscribe. I will be having some more videos coming up relating to the school lunch theme. How I pack my kids' lunch, what kind of foods we put in there. Stick around for that, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you'll know when that's up. See you later.